So I got caught up looking through the all-time home run list the other day, and as you guys probably know, it's in the news right now that Albert is currently chasing down some of the bigger names on the all-time home run list. At the time of this recording, he has 619, he's in 7th. Griffey is in 6th with 630. I was looking through the trajectory of what Albert could possibly get up to. He's currently 38 years old in 7th place. He needs 12 more to move into 6th. Then things really start getting harder. He needs 42 to move into 5th to catch Willie Mays. He needs 78 to move into 4th, passing A-Rod. He needs 95 to catch Ruth, 136 to catch Aaron, and 143 more home runs to catch Barry Bonds. So while it's obviously likely that he'll move past Griffey and Mays, and he's got a good shot at passing A-Rod, it's pretty unlikely that Albert has 144 home runs left in the tank in order to catch Barry Bonds. Now, if he were in order to do that, let's look at what it would take. Pujols is 38 years old. Let's say that he did play as long as Barry and Aaron did play till he's 42 years old. That means he has 4 more seasons. If Albert were to do that, he would need 36 home runs each season, which is not impossible in theory, but keep in mind that Albert's only had 1 season with over 35 home runs since joining the Angels. A little disappointing, and this isn't to say that I hate Barry Bonds or, he doesn't deserve the record or anything like that. That's not the point of this video at all. What I am interested in, though, is figuring out whether 762 is that a number that is touchable in our lifetimes, or is it a number like Cy Young or like Pete Rose's records that are probably going to stand by themselves for a while. So in order to figure that out, I switched the list to active roster players, and the results probably don't shock you. Of the active roster players, the top 8 don't have a guy under 34 years old, and of those guys, the only one with even a shot of coming close to 762 is Albert Pujols himself. Miggy has 465, Encarnacion has 354, Nelly has 328, Granderson has 322. You guys get it. These guys are old. They're not going to get anywhere close to it. I got to number 10 before I saw a guy that I thought had a real chance of making some waves in the all-time home run list, which is Giancarlo Stanton. Stanton, as you know, is coming off an MVP season with 59 home runs. At the time of this recording, he has 272 home runs, and he's 28 years old. Now, this is his 9th full season, so if he can have 9 more good seasons at that exact level, what would that put him at? He would have 544 home runs. Currently, that would put him at 17th in between Big Papi and Mike Schmidt. So obviously there's nothing wrong with 544 home runs. He'd be a first-ballot Hall of Famer regardless. But for Giancarlo to come close to Bonds, he'd need to improve a good bit in the second half of his career. So let's say that Giancarlo plays just as long as Barry does until he's 42 years old. Keep in mind Giancarlo's contract keeps him until he's 39 years old. So he's got a good shot at that. He currently needs 490 more home runs to catch Barry. If he plays till he's 42, he's got 14 seasons left to hit 490 home runs. That's 35 home runs per season. Now, in a way, that seems doable. The first 8 years of his career, he averaged 33.375 home runs per season, and that's in a big park without much protection. Now he's moving into a smaller park, and he's got more protection in the lineup, and it's a more home run-happy league than the one he entered into. So it sounds like, can Giancarlo hit 2 more home runs each season? Yeah. So yes, it is possible for Giancarlo to catch Barry, assuming, of course, that he has 14 more seasons left in him, with not only a lack of regression, but improvement upon his first 9 seasons, minimal injuries to go along with that, and he keeps his bat speed up the entire time. If that's the case, yes, watch out for Giancarlo. Would I bet on that? No. There's about as much of an outside shot there as there was with Albert, except maybe a little bit less so. But I kept going down the list, and it got to a part that I was really interested in. For one, side note, Justin Upton is 17th among active players with 260 home runs at the age of 30. So he needs 502 to catch Barry, which means that if he plays until Barry played, he has 12 more seasons. He needs to hit 41.8333 home runs per season to catch Barry. Justin Upton's not going to catch Barry. I just think it's worth noting. I don't think we're giving Justin Upton credit. He's putting together a really good career. Now, this is part of the list that really interests me, though. I went down to 25, and I saw Mike Trout has 211 home runs, and he's 26 years old. He's currently 25th among active players in home runs. To catch Barry, he needs 551 more home runs, but he's only 26, so if he played as long as Bonds did, that means he has 16 more seasons left in the tank, meaning that in order for Trout to catch Bonds, he needs to average 34.4375 home runs over the next 16 years. So in a way, you could read that and say Trout needs 34 home runs, Giancarlo needs 35 home runs. How are those that different? Trout is currently in his 7th full MLB season, and he's only ever hit 35 home runs twice, although last year he would have for a 3rd time if it weren't for injury. He currently has 10 at the end of April right now. Players like Trout tend to hit more home runs down the stretch of their career, not less. And so I don't view this as an absurd idea. The reason to keep in mind is that Trout is 26 years old and he's a 5-tool player. What this means is that he'll probably get a more power-oriented swing than the one that he has right now. We might not be seeing Trout's prime as things stand right now, as hard as that is to believe. Looking at the list of all-time home run guys, that's what it takes. There are a number of prerequisites that the top guys have. For one, they're all generational 5-tool talents, not just home run hitters. So guys with less contact-oriented swings like Willie McCovey, Reggie Jackson, Herman Killebrew, they hit their share of home runs, but they all kind of topped out in the 500s. The one exception to that might be Jim Thome, but guys like Giancarlo and Aaron Judge, that's more so the profile that they fit. You look at the guys at the top of the list, Barry, Hank, Ruth, A-Rod, Mays, Griffey, we didn't think of these guys as home run hitters at the beginning of their career. We thought of them as the best players in baseball, and obviously they hit home runs with the best of them because that's something important in baseball. It wasn't until later on in their careers that we realized that Hank Aaron and Barry Bonds had home run totals that were going to compete with the all-time greats. The second thing they all have in common is extremely long careers. Barry and Hank both came into the league at 21. They played until they were 42, 22-year careers. Babe played 21 years, Mays played 23 years, Griffey played 21 years, A-Rod had a 21-year career minus that year-long ban. This is what distinguishes them from the other great 5-tool players like Mickey Mantle and Ted Williams, who obviously had 3 prime years cut out of the middle of his career. But the thing that really separates Hank, Bonds, and Ruth from the pack is that their prime years of their careers were in their mid to late 30s. From the age 31 to 37, Babe Ruth averaged 49 home runs per season. I'm not making that up, go check it out. From the age of 32 to 39, Hank Aaron averaged 39.375 home runs per season. Barry Bonds hit 411 home runs between the ages of 31 and 39. That's an average of 45.667 home runs per season. The third quadrant of your career, age 32 to 39, that's where home run champions are made. And if you deal with injuries, days off, regression, it's going to kill your chase for it. You can ask King Griffey Jr. And as most of us probably agree on, yes, it is pretty annoying to see Barry up there with Hank and Babe, because we all know how much steroids helped him stay the player that he was, and the 73 home run season is obviously going to help your chase a lot. But looking at his overall numbers, I really think it's worth it. If you haven't ever done it, go look at Barry Bonds' overall numbers throughout the entirety of his career. I'm not saying that to make a Hall of Fame case for him. I'm just saying that it's important to really have the context of one of the 5 or 6 greatest athletes to ever play the game of baseball. He was an 8-time Gold Glove winner. He has a 168.4 wins above replacement per Fangraphs. That's second all-time, only to Babe Ruth, who, keep in mind, played both ways. What I hope this video is actually able to do for you and is able to offer you as baseball fans, though, is that I really hope that it allows you to watch Mike Trout a little differently now. Having the understanding and the context to see that this guy is truly playing at a level that mirrors what we saw of the true all-time inner circle greats. And should things continue going the way that they're going and we avoid injury or major regression, whether he breaks some of these big numbers or not, he's going to find himself on the Mount Rushmore of baseball. And the second thing I really hope this offers you is just a more thorough understanding and appreciation of the all-time greats like Barry, Hank, Ruth, Mays, Griffey, Albert, A-Rod. You know, these are generational talents, and there's a reason that there's only 1 or 2 times a generation that you see numbers like this being attempted. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you enjoyed, I'm really glad. That's why I made it. I'm Shep Apelka, and this is the Braves Tomoblog YouTube channel that I typically just talk about the Braves on, but every now and then I find statistical stuff that I find that I just have to talk about. So I really hope you enjoyed watching, and if it seems like something you want to check out further, feel free to check it out and see if it's for you. Thanks for watching.